there, Sagittarius. Ginger here from Tarot by Ginger. I am rereading your cards that I did the other day because as I was reading the cards and pulling these fairy, the Heart of Fairy Oracle, it was as though I just became really foggy brained as soon as I started pulling these cards. And it was all I could do to get through that reading. And I watched it afterward and I thought, this is not the correct reading for you. So I'm going to read for you again with the same cards. Hopefully we'll figure out what's going on here. So let me just ask you to like and subscribe if you're watching the video and you're enjoying the recordings. Please hit the like button and subscribe. That helps my channel. And if you could put a little comment in the comment section, a kind comment, that would be really great. Thank you. All right, so the first card we have was Bright Spark. And this bright spark is necessary. You are the bright spark because things don't feel normal and natural right now. It's as though you're not really in sync with what the rest of the people around you are doing, what they're paying attention to, what their hobbies are, how they spend their time, and what they're talking about. It just it seems like another language is what the card said. It's as though people are speaking another language. And you've got this bright spark to illuminate the path ahead because you don't really know what's going on and what's happening. The next card is the Star Fairy. Now, the Star Fairy is here to tell you that we are all connected. We are all united. We are all part of the one. We all together now. You know, it's all about the one love, and we are all part of that. And you're beginning to notice that. And then we have the captive man. Now, the book was suggesting that maybe a fairy had taken a human guy captive because we think we're dealing with another human when we're dealing with fairies, but that's a very different story. Sagittarius is the captive man because you're beginning to realize something, and that something has kept you captive all your life. And so we're going to find out what that is so that we can release you from being that captive man. So we started with the Strength card. All right, this is recognizing going through a little bit of difficulty in our lives. And at the end of it, we become very compassionate and gentle toward ourselves because we realize this situation that brought us to this point, we realize that we have a lot to learn and that all of us have a lot to learn. You're not the only one. And that to beat ourselves up makes no sense. It's just a lesson. So let's learn the lesson and let's move on. Let's not beat ourselves up. Hopefully we've learned the lesson entirely. And you know what? If we haven't, we're going to go through something similar again until we learn the lesson. But I'm not going to beat myself up in the meantime. I'm going to just accept myself for who I am, because I'm not a dummy, but sometimes it takes me a little longer than other times. But that's what this is about. Self-compassion, self-acceptance, self-love. That's what that's about. Getting to know yourself, becoming more self-aware. Justice crosses this. Now, this card in this reading is about that Strength card. When I'm going to read you something Edgar Cayce said. Edgar Cayce, he was really big on knowing your ideal. Know your ideal and live to that, for each soul must give account for its own self. So what is your ideal? Who is your role model for the kind of life you want to live, for the kind of person you want to be? For many people, it's Jesus, the Christ consciousness, Jesus, as we know him, as much as we know about him. That could be a role model, but what is the standard for how you want to live your life? And then, are you living up to that standard? And the reason you may not be is because you're living in the material world where you've been taught that it's all, that's all there is the material world. Anything spiritual is really a lot of woo-woo and doesn't mean anything. You know, that's just a lot of woo-woo. So you're told that what happens over here, this woo-woo stuff that you certainly know about, it's part of your existence. You're told that you can't pay, you know, it's like your imaginary friend that your parents say, oh, you have to let it go. Well, that's what that's about. And so you're in the material world. So these emotions and these feelings that you're getting that are pulling you away from other people, what's happening is you are moving to a higher consciousness. You are, your higher self has wanted to get your attention, and it has. And so when we dream, daydreams, when we're sleeping, dreaming, any kind of dreams, you know, meditation, you know, I can go out in the garden and just start pulling weeds, and it's sort of like a meditation, and my mind goes places, you know. So through those experiences, that's when our higher self can get in touch with us and start talking to us because we're relaxed and we're not in our logical mind. Your higher self is starting to talk to you, and it's bringing you news of higher consciousness. It's a higher consciousness that is coming to you. And so that's what this justice is about. It's balancing the material world and the spiritual world that's coming to you through your higher self. Oh, hold on one second. There's an alarm going off here. Didn't mean to do that. Hmm. So it's necessary. What you're going to find is that it's becoming necessary to balance the material and the spiritual. And a lot of people are not really understanding how to approach life as though we are all one, as though we are, that people who do mean things need to be forgiven too. Not that we, not that we say that what they do is okay. It's not okay, but we need to be compassionate toward them because if they knew better, they would do better. If they knew better, they would do better. And they just don't. You know, they think about someone who is really evil. You know, what was their upbringing like? Do you have any idea? What made them, what brought them to where they are today? So you're, you know, while you're dreaming, this information is coming to you, this higher consciousness. In the recent past, we have this guy. He's hard working hard. He's hard at work. You know what? This is what you focused on all the time, but that's moving away because you're recognizing that it's not just the material world you're dealing with. There is a lot going on around you, within you, that is getting your attention, and you realize, you know what, it's not all about the material world. This is sending you on a journey of finding you recognize that you have this calling, that you can't not investigate this higher consciousness that's constantly, it's like not going to let you go. It's dogging you. It's not going to let you go. The hounds of heaven, right? It's not going to let you go. So you have to investigate this higher consciousness and how it's really beginning to change the beliefs that you've had all your life. And so that's not easy. That's not easy to accept. It makes us feel a little bewildered and maybe a little foggy brained, like I was feeling when I first did this reading. And so in the near future, this is a card of rest, of meditation. And, you know, when we start to experience higher consciousness elements, we need to rest. You know, it can, that's a lot of information that we're downloading. Maybe some of you have had a sort of Kundalini experience, which really, you know, is really very energetically exhausting. You need to rest, but you also need to talk to your guides. So you need to sleep and in your sleep, talk to your guides. In your daydreaming, talk to your guides. In your gardening, talk to your guides because they are there. All you have to do is listen. They're going to help you. Now, this guy, this is your energy at the present. Um, the Page of Swords. So he is a messenger. He is a messenger of the law, theology, education, higher learning, that sort of thing. This is not about religion, though. He is up high. He is up in the clouds because he's of very high intelligence. And so he's close to God because of that. The suit of swords is close to God because of that. And sometimes they think they're God because of that, but they're not. Anyway, he's bringing you a message of higher understanding. That's what this card is about, a message of higher understanding. I'm trying to think, I'm trying to get this. I'm feeling whether or not there is an actual person around you who will sort of like just, I feel like somebody's just going to say the right words, and it could be a kid, it could be a kid who just says blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh my God, that's what I needed to hear, and that kid has no idea. But I feel like that's something part of the message that you're getting. And then we have the sun. In a sense, new beginnings. This is a powerful card. This is sort of like, when you are forgiven or when you forgive someone, it's as though a peace just washes over you. A graceful peace just washes over you. That's kind of what this is. A new beginning, brand new beginning, bright, fresh, new understanding. You have a new understanding. It's like the light where it was dark because you needed the light here. Where it was dark, it's not dark anymore. It's bright. You're out in the sun now. You are aware, you are self-aware, you're knowing that what is happening for you, you're recognizing it. And then what does it do? What does it do? It helps you to go out into the world in a whole new way. This is a merchant who right now is asking, what new thing can I start now? He's got the world in his hands. He's standing on the portico of his home. He's got the flowers of passion and purity here as symbols of his demeanor, purity of his spirit and passion of his heart. He's just asking himself, I have everything I need, everything. What do I want to do next? Well, you're approaching this time in your life in a whole new way because you're changed. You're not the same person you used to be. And, you're still in this time of seeking, like, what exactly does this mean for me? But that will grow and grow and grow as the years go by. And what are you leaving here? This card is about leaving something. What are you leaving? You're leaving the old beliefs, the old map of the world, the old rules that you recognize now create a lot of anger, animosity, hate, evil. That's what you're leaving behind. And you're finding a new way. You're being taught about a new way. That's what this is. You're being taught about a new way to go ahead. So you're going to approach the world in a whole new way. And you know what? What happens when you do that? Somehow you become really wealthy. I mean, this guy, he's really generous. He's like the uncle who takes you on vacation because they just won the lottery, and he has no kids, so he's going to take you because you're his nieces and nephews. He's taking the whole family. He's a really generous guy. You may actually not so much become this, but you may work with this person and that will enrich you. And in turn, you are not dealing with the material world in the same way. And this guy, I think, is going to notice it. Whoever this guy is, it's someone else, not you. Whoever this guy is, or gal, it could be a woman, it's a masculine energy. The king is a masculine energy, but it could be a woman. And it could be, for instance, the Nine of Pentacles, because that's the self-made woman. And boy, do you have to have a little masculine energy to be the CEO of a major corporation as a woman, right? But this guy's approach to the world and approach to business is getting this person's attention. And this person has a lot of clout, a lot of power in his part of in his neck of the woods, his part of the world. So hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So that's what I have. So what is happening? It's really, I kind of felt like this was could also be a political reading because I mean, just think about all of the wealthy people who have flocked to Donald Trump. Look at all the wealthy people who have flocked to him. Why did they flock to him? I'm not going to answer that. But you know what? I think there's going to be a new kind of energy dealing with people who are very wealthy. And they are going to put, and this person and this kind of energy is going to pull those wealthy people away from Donald. I just feel, that's the unity. It's not that one, it is that who do you want to do business with? Do you want to do business with someone who's on the up and up, or do you want to do business with somebody who doesn't pay employees and things like that? Who never, you can never trust. Nobody can trust Donald Trump. He's all out for himself. But this guy, he has a new way of doing things that people are going to pay attention to. That's you. And you need to balance this ideal. The idea you have of the person you want to be versus the person you are acting as. So this is a time for you, Sagittarius, to step up because you're the person. You can do this. You can be that person of integrity, with a great moral compass, a leader to show other people how to do it. So this is what I have for you, Sagittarius. I think it's a little different from the other one, but this to me, I don't feel all foggy brained and I feel as though this is making sense to me now. And Prairie, the Prairie Oracle deck, the card says, "Where do I give and receive?" You want to match it. Where do I give and receive? It's sort of like that ideal question. Who am I saying I want to be and who am I? You need to match it. Who am I dealing with in my day-to-day interactions? You need to match it. Match it. Where do I give and receive? Because where you give and where you receive makes a big difference in life. So that's the reading I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that helped. And I hope that, I don't know what that other reading, I don't even remember it, but I just know it didn't make me feel comfortable. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading and I will see you the next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.